Awesome. Olivia, I want to first off start by saying thank you for joining me on this. For those of you that are watching, Olivia is the Senior Instructional Designer and Trainer at Accushield. Olivia, we've been working together for now about 6 or so months. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, since February, yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it is now almost July, so yes.
Yeah, right. I can do math. Um, I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll jump right into the very first question. How would you describe WiseOx to somebody at a dinner party?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I mean, honestly, the way we describe it around the office is it's just like a part, like a member of our team, like a person on our team, it is WiseOx essentially. So it does the same thing as like someone on our team would do. It helps provide support to our customers. It answers questions. It helps on all those things. But if I'm talking to someone who completely just doesn't know what WiseOx is, I would say, well, it's kind of like if you take AI and you have the ability to fully sort of mold it and build it and customize it to speak the language that you want it to speak in the tone, have the knowledge that you want it to have, and really kind of be a good representation of your team and your company.
Love that. And you're exactly right. It's taking all of the outside information and just giving it to like a contextualized mascot. Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. Which leads me to my second question. Most of our customers are interested in creating a trained AI mascot because their content and the context of that content matters to them. For AccuShield, can you tell or explain a little bit why context is so important for you? Specifically like the support and the verify program.
Yeah, so we have three different mascots, and context is very important for each one of them. They're each for three different audiences. So AccuShield, we cater to different groups. Different groups use AccuShield differently. We have different services for them. They have different levels of knowledge. So context really matters when building out these specific mascots so that they follow the specific processes that are necessary for the audiences that they're talking to and the situations that they're in. And really, we need the specific mascots to sort of pick up and understand the nuances of the processes, and kind of speak on the level that that specific customer base needs to be spoken to understand the knowledge. So that's kind of why context is really important and why it's important to sort of treat each mascot as its own little person, as its own little thing, because they have the ones that we've built have different jobs essentially, even though they're for us, AccuShield, the same company, they're for different people for different purposes, different missions, and so on and so forth.
Love that. And you're right. And I love how you said the different persons and the different personalities because that really
hmm
it does matter as well. So I love that. Can you take a minute and explain the process for creating your, I know you've got three, but for just kind of creating the mascots as a whole?
Yeah. Well, this is where I get to praise you a little bit, Michelle, because we've been working together and you have been such an awesome partner in this experience. And since the beginning, you were very open in helping us create these mascots. I think we sent a full spreadsheet that had over 100 resources on it, and we asked you to upload it into the mascot, and so it becomes the knowledge of the mascot. So it's really been a collaboration, and you guys have kind of been there for support along the ways. Now that I've kind of picked up on it over these months, I've sort of taken over, just going in there and updating the mascot every so often. It's very easy to either feed it a document or email it information, or if you have a lot of hyperlinks, which our team has, just uploading those hyperlinks as they are. So I honestly thought going into it, it was going to be a lot more difficult than it actually was. But because the system is so intuitive and because you guys were so supportive with your assistance, it's been pretty smooth sailing in creating those mascots. And then of course we get to the fun part of like customizing it. So what colors do we want to use? What prompts do we want it to have? And that's kind of always a, ever changing thing and making those updates. And that's kind of the fun part that we're at now.
Oh, the creativity behind it, right? Because it's not just,
Yes.
I mean, the data is very, very important, but you got to kind of hold on to the creative side of it as well, you know? Totally, totally agree. You talked a little bit about the process. What advice would you give other companies starting on their own AI mascot build?
Yeah, so we signed on with three, and for us, if you do plan on doing multiple, for us it was helpful to sort of take them one by one. So we would build one out, launch one, test it a first, of course, and then kind of move on to the next one and the next one. So that process it became very scalable for us to sort of launch all three of them on sort of a staggered timeline. But if you're just focusing on one, it is very doable. It's very easy. And I think when we first started, you guys said that, we can go at whatever pace we want to set. So if we wanted to go slow, we could go slow. If we wanted to go fast, I mean, the system is built for that as well. I would say as well, take some time in that testing period, ask it as many questions as you think, not just, questions that you would ask that, but put your foot, put yourself in your customer's shoes and ask the questions that they would be asking. Whether it's like sometimes we have people have typos in the things that they ask, or sometimes they use a term that's different from the term we use internally. So really think through all those options as you're testing it. Get other people involved for other points of views. But other than that, once you do that, you're kind of good to go whenever you would like to.
Yeah, the idea of putting yourself in your customer's shoes is so important. And why
Mhm.
I think, at least from my perspective, the testing phase is valid as well, because you're going to ask questions different than somebody else on your team. And just kind of,
Totally.
it's always really interesting seeing the way that users interpret, excuse me, using a mascot and the
Mhm.
concept of a mascot and how they interact with a mascot and things like that, which absolutely does lead me to my next question. So, it's kind of a threefold question. What do you think of the AI mascot concept, and how would you compare it to other options, other AI options, right? There's a lot of things out there right now, but what are your thoughts on the mascot concept, and then how would you compare that to other options in out in the ether right
Yeah, and I think I'm an interesting person to ask this because me personally, I'm not all in on AI. I know some people are. Me, I still have some reservations about it. I don't use it a lot, sort of in my personal life. But to me, this one feels very different from, some of the use cases that I've seen.
now?
It's the service and information and the way that we can build the AI mascot with WiseOx is very different than just going to a ChatGPT or a Gemini or whatever the case may be and asking a question. A lot more customization, a lot more personalization, a lot more sort of getting into the details of like, okay, how do we actually want this person to respond, as well as what information do we want them to have? For us, a lot of our information, we kind of want some gating around it. We don't want all of our information and tutorials just out there in the ether. We want there to be, them to be logged into a dashboard or something to show that they're actually a customer of ours. And so they can get a lot more information by, using WiseOx than just asking something like a chat GPT because we do want that sort of barrier of information. But other than that, I mean, with ChatGPT, I don't know how to give it a cute little name and give it colors and have some sort of theming and having little pop-ups that can redirect to our live customer support if we need
Yeah.
to. I also really enjoy the feature that WiseOx have that where you can open emails and tickets. It'll open a ticket for our live team if something needs to be escalated. So there's a lot of analytics. So as far as like comparing it, I do think that having it in sort of this mascot that represents your team and your company, you have many, many more options
Yeah.
compared to just using a generic sort of AI model just out there in the wild.
Yeah, and Olivia, I hadn't thought about gating some of your
Mhm.
data, right? And not that I had forgotten that we went through that process of what is what is everybody facing, and then what do we need to gather, right? Kind of a call to action. What am I giving you,
Mhm.
giving me something in return? So that's a really, really good point. Okay, and to that, my last question. Um, How would you describe or how is Accushield thinking about the ROI and the value that you're seeing from WiseOx?
Oh, there's a lot. There is a lot. A huge benefit is just being able to see what our customers are actually asking, what they're interested in, what they're having issues with, what are parts of our product that we didn't really know that customers were having so much issues with and getting hung up on. So just looking at the conversations, the chats, looking at the analytics has been really eye-opening for us. We're able to see, what our customer bases are interested in, what buttons are they clicking as opposed to other buttons. And this, I've taken this information and I've shared it with our product team. I've shared it with our C-suite. I've shared it with our support team, and all of those teams have kind of come together to use this information to help build better systems, make things faster, make things better, really tackle those spots where customers are needing that assistance. And we try to use the WiseOx data in some of our regular meetings now. So we'll take a look at it. I'll take the information and sort of tally it up and see, okay, the word password was mentioned 25 times last month. What does that mean? Let's look at it. Do we need to make some improvements there? And other than that, it has been really helpful in providing that sort of 24/7 support. So we do have a live support team. We have a couple of people here, but they work 9 to 5. They're people, they have lives. So it's great that our mascots are always there, especially for people who are working night shifts or, people who might not fall within that 9 to 5 range. They can still receive that assistance and receive that support and get those immediate, easy answers that would have taken a live person more time because they have to open an email, respond to an email, answer a phone call, respond to a voicemail. Whereas if it's something simple and easy the customer can do on themselves and they just don't know about it yet, this mascot is there to make that a little bit quicker. So tons of value, and we're seeing new value every day, and we're really excited about using it.
Ah, Olivia, thank you. And we are excited about partnering with you. You have been nothing short than of amazing to partner with, to build mascots with. I think I've said this to you before, I love the way that you and AccuShield, but you specifically are thinking about innovating and asking questions and the way that you're using the platform. And all of it is absolutely fantastic. So thank you for taking time with me to answer these questions. And I will see you a little bit later.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Olivia.